Hey everyone, it's Dying Demon, and welcome on in back to Moonlighter. Now this video is mostly a tip video, it's not actually me playing. I was watching another streamer by the name of RoboPoplio, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm bad with names, people, everyone can tell you this. And you know, one of their community members was saying that they just weren't good at it. There were some things they had some issues getting their heads around. You know, and it made me think I should make a tip video. Now, I haven't beaten the game yet. I do plan to come back to this game, finish it up, and then do New Game Plus, or any more DLC that comes out. Now, I am rather loaded at 15 million. But, so I thought I'd give us some tips. First off, I don't know if I can even sell you. Yeah, it's a not for sale item. Okay. So you can't sell those. Let's just take you back, lock you in a chest somewhere. So, let's start off this tip video with some basics. One, in your shop, as you upgrade, you get more and more and more items to sell. Now, something that I need to show you, and I will show you later on in a clip, I might just cut to that part of the video and just have this voice talk over. As you get these secure cases, I recommend you use them. In these cases, items cannot be stolen, so you want to take your most expensive items, like let's say this book stack, which is worth 20 grand a book, and you'd want to drop it here, because that is 100,000 right there, and if somebody walks out with that, you're gonna feel it. Speaking of, I need to move this ancient tome over there. I might actually be selling them for too much. Let's check. 20 grand, they'll take it, but they ain't happy. Which, you know, that comes on to tip 2 in a second, which I need to do some dungeon runs first. So, always remember, try and keep your most expensive stuff like that. I'm also gonna change you to like 16 grand. Remember, the more expensive it is, the bigger the stack, that'll be the one that you want to keep inside your security. Number 2, always try and max out your stacks. You only have so much room to sell with. You want to try and maximize your sell space. Alright, the next thing you're going to need to know is decorations. As you upgrade your shop, you're going to get decoration spots. Like you see these little places lighting up? These decorations each have a purpose and a function. They're not just for looks, you need to remember that. Decorations matter. So tip 2, decorations matter. So like on the side of the wall, this gives me more generous customers. So if you look on the side of my shop, it says shop total 190%. That is because I have items up that boost how much tip I get. Like this crystal, generous customer. This one, generous customer. This gives tips. If you want more money, you go for tips. This one increases the time the shop can be open. So basically, it makes the day last longer. And if you have more of these, you can have your shop open longer to sell more. Then there is longer days, of course. Then repel thieves. I have this one on. What it does is it cuts down the number of thieves that pop in your shop. I have 50% down on thieves. What else is there? Like this one is generous customers, repel thieves. As you can see, I have pretty much just thieves and generous. But I also have patient customer, because as you get, this goes into tip 3. You need to hurry. The only way to cash in on a tip is to have a patient customer. If you notice in the game, as you play, customers line up here. As they line up, they want to buy items. If you take too long, they'll just leave. They'll pay base price for the item and leave. If you get to them quick enough, they'll tip you. And right now at 190%, that means that if I sell this stack that's worth 80 grand, I'd get like 150 grand out of it because of my my tip bonus. What else? What's a good tip? Oh, whenever you finally unlock this dude with trading, through buying him at the town board and getting his shop ready, this is a good way to later on get parts you need for crafting. So he sells this stuff at pretty high prices. Like if you look right here, this is 11,250 for Golem History. But if I go to this, my Golem History 1 sells for probably around 2,500. So he sells it for an extreme markup. But in return, if you need it for crafting or to complete a quest, he usually sells it. The only thing he does not sell is the DLC dungeon stuff. You're on your own for that. Always remember to check him if you're missing 1 or 2 items. And I'll go over them as I go. So my first tip for anyone playing this game, especially, I really do recommend a controller. You can do a keyboard, but it's just not as exacting. You need to find your pattern. Now, I know that sounds stupid, but every game has every brawler like this, I guess you would call it what do you call this? A roguelike? Nah. But nah. So, with this, the knuckles are fast. 1, 2, and what you need to do is, as you can see, if I hit it just once, and then I keep tapping, he won't do a full combo. You can hold it, of course. No, you can't. But you've got to find out what the pattern is and the speed at which to hit the button. And of course, holding square, for me, unleashes a combo. I forgot, I think it's X, the special. Like, I can do, like, 1, 2, and then chain it in. And then if I switch weapons, so... right bumper or left bumper. I go to my big sword. It swings much slower, but its attack has a much larger iframe. When you're using your special, you are invincible until the animation ends. At that point, you're free game. It also has a much wider attack range, swings slower but deals more damage. So you need to figure out, are you good with bows, big sword, sword and shield? There are multiple weapons. Find the weapon that fits for you and make it work. There is no real exact pattern. I'm really good with the big sword for doing massive damage quickly to get rid of certain enemies, and then I just dodge out of the way. Just kind of dodge out of the way, which makes you invincible while you're dodging of any other attack. Always remember to find your... See those sparkles down here? There's something special down here. So if you jump off, yes! Alright, this right here is crucial for item management. So let's just take as much as we can. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into this chest. And there we go. And now whenever I leave this chest, I hit B. Yoink. It sends it on home. It literally just takes the items in your inventory and sends it home. This is probably one of the most useful things that I did not know. I have to give thanks to Robo Poplio for that because he's the one I found it from. And oh my god, is it awesome. What we're going to do is we're going to start placing items. Now, a lot of people seem to struggle with finding the price of items. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to use the book. That is this section of tips, the books. So, whenever you're trying to put things on the shelf, you have to always worry about how much something costs. And if they tell you early on, you have to do it by a reaction. So, if you look on the right-hand side, you see selling and reactions. I've never sold it too cheap, which would be about 1 to 2 gold, which would cause it to freak out. And you can tell this because look at the very bottom of the page on the left-hand side where it says 7 of 7 vine. There's a bar there that says 2. That means that these vines most definitely cost more than 2. Anything less than that, and you're giving them away, basically. However, because they're so cheap, anything above 3, like around 4 or 5, you get that little meh face. They'll buy it, but they won't be happy, and if I don't know if that affects your tip or not, but eh. And if you sell it for more than like 5 or 6, you'll get that face on the far right-hand side. They will not buy it. Now, this might sound stupid, but what this does is it helps fill in your book. And it also gives you an idea of what to sell at. So, Teethstone, they are going to be more expensive than vines because they are further up the list. The book is sorted by price, Or at least I think that's how I have it. So, yeah, I have it sorted by price. If you look at the very top, it's set where it says right up here. I have it highlighted now. You can change it. Either it goes down by price or up by price. I do up by price. So, what you do is you find an item. So let's say the vines, and they're worth 3. So let me find some vines, and I'll go ahead and place them for you. Or some items. So, we'll start with the golden volume. I'll show you this. It's a new item. I've never sold it. We're just going to pretend here. I don't know how much it costs. So what I need to do is look for an item or this line. So this line says $275 are coins. I know it's worth more than $275. If I go up, I know it's worth less than $3,000. That is a huge range. So let's pretend that before I got this golden volume, I had already gotten gold runes, which you should. Well, I know the gold runes are worth 300 coins because I've been selling them up and down until I found it. So the golden volume needs to be worth more than 300. You need to find the pattern for it. Every item's a little bit different. Every dungeon's a bit different on the spacing. But with the golem dungeon, I always start off 200 higher than the selling value of the next one. And you can see this because if you look at the golem volume, I first tried to sell it at 500. I got the face and they wouldn't buy it. So I lowered it by 100. Well, technically I lowered it by 50, but I lowered it by 100 for this and then they liked it. I always lower it by 100. So I then tried the old golem minion design at 400 as well and immediately sold for the right price. I found them on the same floor. Usually they're around the same thing. So I just put them for the same price. That's not always a smart idea. But I always recommend going like 100 to 200 up from the previous item. And if it doesn't sell, drop it. Like the golem chisel is... I tried it at 600. It wasn't enough. So I lowered it down to 500. People loved it. The rune tool is immensely more expensive. I've never sold it for the right amount. At 1,300, it was expensive. I mean, it was cheap, but at 1,700, it was too expensive, so it's probably worth around 1,500. Now, something you should pay attention to is popularity. As you can see on the right-hand bottom side, it says popularity for this item is high. Items with high popularity do not give you a completion in your book. Neither do low popularity, because you will be able to sell it for more. I can probably sell the rune tool for around 1,700 and people will buy it and be happy with it. So you won't get completion. Also, if a rich customer buys it, you will not be able to get a completion for it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go ahead and, sell all these. So this is a high popularity item, and he thinks it's cheap. Oh, you saw that guy that come in with the mask? He's a thief. He's going to want to, steal stuff. Whenever I talk about getting to your customer, you see how he's tapping his foot? You need to get to it and sell it, and he'll buy it. See, he paid almost double for that because of the tip. Friggin' bird. Pay attention to the bird. Everything in your shop will freeze because of a bird. Everybody will stop what they're doing. No, you don't. He stole from my cash register, so I beat him up. Get out my shop. Alright, you see how this person has a question mark? I need to attend to them. And this person wants to sell this, so I'll do that. Or buy that. He wants to trade. That's something from the thing. We're not even going to worry about that. No, go away. I'll do that. So, you need to pay attention for the faces. I know that sounds like a pain, but their faces will tell you if you're doing things right or wrong. Anything that you see an arrow on for either high or low, don't worry, because even if they buy it, you probably won't get a completion. You won't know the actual price, but at least you'll know based off of, even with popularity, if you're selling too high or too low. Alright, my shelves are starting to get empty, so let's just drop a few items on there. He wants me to attend to him, so I'll attend you. That book was pretty much being sold cheap, but it's a high popularity item. But she paid almost double for it thanks to tips. Thank you, tips. Imagine living in a world where you got 190% tip. Basically 90% of your order you also get as a tip. Alright, what you have here, that guy with the hat right here, he's a rich customer. So let me pause real quick to say this. Rich customers are also really good and really bad. So a rich customer will not tell you if you have your prices jacked up too high. They just want an item. If you see a rich customer start eyeing something, you have the ability to quickly get over there if you can, jack up the price some, and he will still buy it. They will pay almost anything, but they don't count towards completion in your book, meaning you don't know your prices. And finding your prices is everything. So far, these are high priority and high popularity items, so nobody's, nothing's contributing to my book, so I was really a failure on that part. I need a whole new game to show that off. There we go. So as you can see, my inventory is starting to get empty. So I can actually go to my lockbox now without having to abandon the front end. And that's important because in this game, the game is still going even if you leave the front end. So like you see, I'm out of stuff to sell now. If I were to go back here, you see the game is still going. People are still walking around. They can steal from me and there's nothing I can do. I really wish my shopkeep was a bit more useful and she would help me out. This guy's a thief, isn't he? I'm also going to open my lot box and take out some more items to sell. That's why I love having this lot box. Once you get out of items out of your inventory, you can sell directly from it. Alright, let's do this. Go ahead and steal it. Rich guy wants some help. He's going to go for the register. Damn, he didn't steal anything. I think because I was just standing there near him. Yep, sell it. I always recommend. I didn't know you could sell from the front. Once again, thank you, RoboPoplio, because I didn't know that till he told me. I always go behind the counter thinking you have to be there to sell. You don't. These people are asking me for quests. I never do quests. I don't really do the trades. I just don't have time for it, so just forget that for now. Ooh, I'm running out of time. Let's just start selling things at a hurried pace. Also, if you ever need to sell equipment, people with the equipment symbol over their head, they're the way to go. Because they will buy it. And many times for very, very expensive prices. Like, more than you spent making them prices. And even not, even if they didn't. You know, you're still making your money back. You can want a quest. I don't care about a quest. Also, if you get a bunch of junk items you just don't want, go to your sales bin. If you buy that and just toss them in, and you can sell them for discounted prices. And people will pay the discounted price and just get them off your hand. That's how I deal with it. Alrighty. So then your sales report comes in. And today I had nobody steal from me. And I made a cool 372,688. Not a lot, but it's not bad. So remember to use your book wisely. It takes a little bit of getting used to, I admit. It really does. But your book will have the information you need to buy and sell. So, like, I know that, like, if I go all the way down in the forest menu, I know that the first item must cost more than 60. However, by selling it at 70, it was too much, so I know it's actually worth 50. Not 50, around 60 to 65. Plant flesh is worth around 60, so since this is higher up on the list, it means that this one must be worth 60 because 60 is the lowest it could go. This one, 50 is a steal, so it's probably worth 60 as well. 200 is too much for petals, so it'd probably sell somewhere around 100. Magic wood is around 100. As you do it, fill in that book. Just look at the information. It gives you everything you need to know. And of course, keep your eye out for thieves. I'm going to skip to the day again because I want to go talk to the banker. I missed my first day today because I didn't talk to him before I opened my store because I'm a dummy. Because I want to show you what it's like for the banker. So, I'm going to do the banker, and I'm just going to skip a few days of grinding just to do it. In fact, just because I'm done selling now and showing this, I'm just going to let her sell my stuff. This is all pretty much crap level for someone at my level. Unless I wanted to remake the weapons for an achievement to get all the weapons. It's, you know, it's not a bad idea, but I'm not really in the mood to do, so just... It's sad when items that sustained my shop for the longest time are now considered crap items. You live for now. I'll be back for you, don't worry. Talk to her. Hi, Will. I can sell some of your items if you want to take the day off in the shop. I will take 30%. And this is why I don't use her. Imagine you just sold 1,000,000 gold worth of stuff, and now she takes 300,000 of it. I mean, I guess that's not a bad sale, but still, 300,000. I can sometimes get days almost near 10 million, if not more, and she can take... If I did 10 million and let her sell it, and we did 10 million that day, she could easily take 3 million gold, and that is so much gold. And again, I guess I shouldn't be a stickler with as much gold as I have. Just checking to make sure I don't have anything else for her to sell. I don't. Alright, congratulations, you can sell it all. So, the banker is a bit of a thing. Like I said, he's a bit of a gamble. What? I have to catch him on the first day, that's right. Oh well, we're skipping some days, people. I'm just going to use the magic of editing to skip ahead. Alrighty, so... Now that I've got back over here, we're on April 21st. I had to sleep a lot. So we have 19,174,980. For the hell of it, let's see. 1, 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million. Let's drop 10 million. Oh, all that money. So... I'm going to go ahead and skip around on every day, so you won't have to wait for them, but I'll show you what it's like day by day. So this is considered the first day. You need to pay attention and check him daily. Do not make the mistake of thinking that his luck will hold out if you just wait to the end of it. That's how you lose money. So we're at night. Let's get back to day. Down we go! Spooky! Now, let's check him after the first day. I'm up 4%, which means I'm at 10,400,000. Not good enough. I wanted higher than that. Now, it's a very dangerous gamble to do that if you feel unsafe and you like the fact that you have 4% increase. Did cash it out. That's on you. I do a rule of thumb of 16%. So we're going to go to the next day and try it again. So literally on the very next day, I was up to 60%. That means I've just turned 10 million into 16 million. This is where I withdraw my money. If I go any later, I'm going to end up like last time and screw it up. He normally doesn't do the same pattern in a row. I just got really friggin' lucky this time. So I'm going to go ahead and withdraw my money. Look at that. Look at all that money. And there's an achievement to earn. I think it's 100, like 1,000,000 back from the banker. So keep up with that. Check daily. This has just been a basic video on how to do these things. If you want to know more about it, see different tips, let me know. I'll be more than happy to make a video to show you how to do things, handle certain combats and timing, you know, things like that. But until next time, Oh, by the way, I recommend talking to her all the time. And keep talking. She keeps giving you different dialogue options, and as you complete different floors of the dungeon, the dialogue keeps going. Keep talking to her. She actually has interesting backstory. Most of the original Talons members do. Like her, the priest dude over here, the old man, they give some decent backstory. This game has backstory. You just gotta, look it up. But until next time, this has been Dying Demon. Bye!